Let's go to the Buffy's Catering and Bartending Hotline. Brooks Austin joining us to break down everything that he can break down on the film because he's the film guy and he's our buddy. And it's been too long. What's up, Brooks?
I'm doing good. How are you today, Nuno?
I'm good, man. So let's talk about a couple things because I know, wait, is today your Feinbaum appearance? Is that right?
It is. Yeah, I'll be on at 4:30 Eastern time today to talk Texas A&M and LSU. Take a look at what you did last week offensively against Arkansas and how it kind of plays into your hands against LSU, a defense that is consistently being left on the field right about now. But yeah, that's 4:30 Eastern time. What's that for you folks out there? Are y'all Central time?
Yeah.
Time zone's so weird. Weirdest thing we do, time zones. So yeah, there's that. It'll be 4:30 Eastern time today.
3:30 here Central Time. All right, make sure everybody watches that because he'll give you some stuff here, but he's going to give you some new stuff there. All right, so what's your takeaway from the way A&M played that game? Give me the positives and the negatives, what you saw in film.
So first and foremost, A&M fans found this out this weekend, but I think a lot of people record scout. They don't actually look at ball. They don't know what's coming to town with regards to the Arkansas Razorbacks, or when you go up there, what you're going to face. What you're going to face is a top 25 offense. Say what you want about the record, say what you want about whatever, say what you want about Bobby Petrino. You're going to get a very multifaceted, very aggressive, very methodical, very, understanding how to call plays type of offense with a quarterback that's playing really high-level football. So I looked at the 42 points, and I was like, yeah, Arkansas had a good day. Arkansas tends to have good days. That's what they do. Offensively, though, I thought A&M played the definition of complementary football. We hear coaches talk about that all the time. But what does that look like? It looks like, hey, we can't get a stop defensively right now, so we need our offense to go 10 plays, 75 yards. And that's exactly what they did, right? I think A&M offensively right now is making football teams be so overly dedicated and committed to stopping the run that it's a death sentence, because Casey Concepcion and Mario Craver, guys, they don't need to catch the ball 40 yards to take it 75. They can catch the ball 5 yards from the line of scrimmage and take it 75. And that's what's really, really concerning, because most defenses are having to put 8, 9, sometimes, 8 or 9 sets of eyes on the box to try to stop the run right now from A&M, and still failing to do so, by the way. It's something you and I talked about this summer. I thought this unit had a really good chance to be a machine on the ground, and that's kind of what they're turning into.
All right, defensively, there were some issues, so let's kind of talk about that. They're not going to face Taylor Green again, thank goodness, right? But they do got Lenore Sellers. They got some other quarterbacks that are a little bit mobile, not like that level of mobile. Is that the reason you think A&M struggled to tackle? Because he's fast, and they're thinking about him, and they're kind of doing these misfits. What was your takeaway defensively?
My takeaway is that, first of all, we're really only 2 or 3 games into what this offense is now. You guys know this more than anybody, being around Bobby Petrino and having hired him to be your offensive coordinator down there for a couple of years. I think that guy sandbagged for 4 weeks. I think he knew that Sam Pittman was on the way out, that he knew he had an opportunity to call 7 games of great offense after Sam Pittman was out, and had an opportunity to sneak backdoor his way into an SEC job. So I watched that Notre Dame performance offensively from Arkansas, and then I watched them against Tennessee, and I watched them against you guys. And I'm not saying it's a totally different offense. I'm just saying they're playing a lot better. They're calling a lot better plays. They're going on 10, 12-play drives against good defenses. I don't know. I'm not accusing Bobby Petrino of doing something fishy, but I wouldn't put it past Bobby Petrino to do something fishy. You know what I mean?
Brooks, what about LSU? That offense has struggled. And we had Matt Moscona on earlier. He said it's really about the offensive line that's kind of limiting, the play calling and what they can do. What are you seeing?
Buddy, I thought they were bad last year up front. I don't know how Matt feels. Matt does great work, and Matt will never shy away from an opinion. I thought they had 2 NFL offensive tackles last year, but were some food guard to guard. I thought SEC defensive lines looked at that interior offensive line last year and knew, A, they weren't going to be able to run the ball against us unless they ran off tackle, and B, if we want to get home right now, we can get home over any one of these 3 options And now it's kind of become 5 wide, like we can get free eating and free access across the line of scrimmage. That's very interesting to see for me from LSU. I've given up on their opportunity to establish balance. I've given up on any analysis of, hey, maybe LSU will figure out a run game. No, they won't. No, they won't. We're 7 games in at this point. They just won't. This is what it is. They're a football team that's going to have to win 24-21 in games like this. So that puts it all on their defense's shoulders, and they get left on the field way too long. They get left on the field way too long, and they ultimately give up gashers late in the football game. And I kind of foresee something like that going on here with this A&M offense that, again, like, they're explosive. They are. A&M's like one of the more explosive units, in my opinion, on tape in the league. But they're also a football team that can absolutely grind you out in drives. And that terrifies me for LSU. That's going to get, like, time of possession, man, they get shrunk because even when they score, it's through the air, and they're like trying to get some momentum finally because the offense is finally moving the ball and they can't run it. So their time of possession gets flip-flopped on them off rip as soon as they walk off the bus. And then you go play a team that's rushing for, I don't know, what is it, 198 yards per game right now out there at A&M. They're top 30 in rushing. And I think they could be top 10 if they just dedicated it more to that. They know they get into these situations, and you can see the coordinator trying to make sure the quarterback is continuing to grow as a pocket passer. I'm here to tell you, he ain't got to be one of those. Y'all can win games in 12 personnel taking deep shots off play action scissors, which is what most of your explosives come off of.
So it sounds to me, after listening to you for the last 6-7 minutes, that you feel very good about this game for A&M, a place they haven't won in forever. But are you not a little concerned with the 2 road games that A&M has played where they've given up 82 points and going to a place, and I'm sure you're a little concerned because how could you not be, but and going to a place that they haven't won since 1993, and I know that there was a little bit of time they didn't play. But that being said, they haven't won in the SEC era.
I'm just going to throw this out there, and I don't know if it was because it was a funky start. I don't know if it's because there was, a lesser-than opponent, but LSU's last home game did not sell out. I saw a lot of, and they might show up for A&M. They might show up for this situation. They need to. There is no doubt. But that place wasn't 103,000 deep last time I saw it down there in Baton Rouge in a night game. Jonathan, who'd they play? Do you remember the home game LSU did not sell out recently? I mean, it was bad. So anyways, that being said, I am concerned because, like LSU can eventually put it together. Like Nussmeier can eventually get 100% healthy, but I am not a believer in one-dimensional football teams. I'm not somebody that thinks you can do that. I don't, like Taylor Green in Arkansas, they can beat you multiple ways. Notre Dame can beat you multiple ways. I don't think LSU can beat you multiple ways right now. So no, I'm not terribly worried about it. I think that A&M is the far more consistently complete football team. They should handle this game. That's my opinion.
By the way, I think that game you're talking about was South Carolina that was now sold out.
Yeah, there you go. South Carolina.
So let's talk about this. The injuries in this game are kind of a headline, right? No Le'Veon Moss, but there's others that can run. On the other side, with Weeks, he's a TBD. You also have Tyree Adams, who looks like he's out, according to Brian Kelly yesterday. So injuries could play a major role in this game. How do you think that part of it kind of weighs into the evaluation?
Yeah, I was just looking at the roster. What's the young Smith's name? Number 22, the back for you guys.
Oh, E.J. Smith. E.J. Smith.
Holy hell, what a freight train that kid turned out to be last week against Arkansas. So, like, you're trying to find this balance of, like, most of your runs out on the perimeter are done by 2, they're done by 1, they're done by, like weapons, just jet guys, right? Most of your downhill runs are either through quarterback power or were done by Le'Veon Moss. So you really had to replace the thumper, right? You really had to replace the downhill aspect of this running game. I thought Smith did a tremendous job. I mean, most of the clips we're going to show today on Feinbaum are him running through arm tackles because y'all are putting backs on safeties, which is the whole offensive coordinator's job. The offensive line's job and the offensive coordinator and run game coordinator's job is to make sure the running back gets put on the safety without getting touched. And then the running back's job is to make sure that safety don't tackle him And y'all are doing a great job of that right now. Both of those getting paired up. It's very similar to like play action pass. We got to protect and connect. Like in run games, we've got to account for everybody but the safety. And then the running back's got to do his job there against the safety. You still got to win your quote unquote one-on-one, right? That's the one-on-one. Now, when we have guys arrive at the line of scrimmage, y'all are doing a great job. I think that's the miss without Le'Veon. Like Le'Veon's great at, oh, not everything's perfect. I'm still going to turn it into a 6-yard gain. The explosivity of I'm going to make the safety miss and take care of him is still there, though.
Brooks, let's close out with this. So A&M's got to get this game or the Missouri game to be a playoff team. And look, they got to do more than just that. But like I'm doing the math in my head, you got to win a road game against one of these teams, if not Texas, right? And you got to win your home games. Do you feel this team is trending? I mean, 7-0, you'd say yes, but do you feel like this team is going to be a playoff team?
Yeah, you got to go 2-2 down the stretch, right? You've earned the right to be in this situation, right? The win at Notre Dame was huge. The win over Auburn in a tight football game was huge, and all that good stuff. This win on the road at Arkansas, the score was what the score was, but I thought that game was kind of like solidified with 8 or 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and then there was some garbage time scores, right? I think Arkansas went 7 plays, 7 passes, 80 yards, and punched it in late with like 38 seconds left. Like that, to me, that's a 14-point win. That's not a 3-point win. I'm justifying that in my own head. But moving forward, yeah, I feel really, really good about A&M's chances to be at least 2-2 down the stretch. Like, I don't know. I don't know how you fix all the problems at Texas right now. There's a lot going on. It's the left guard. It's the quarterback. It's the fact that they can't run. They can't reestablish the line of scrimmage in the run game. Like there's a lot to fix. There's a lot that you can't just patchwork in the middle of it. You might be able to do it against Oklahoma, but you can't turn around and do the same patchwork game plan the next week to hide all of the roster inefficiencies. So I worry about that one. I think you're going to handle South Carolina as well. I don't believe in Bo Pribula, not at a really, really high rate, not me. So I think you'd earn the right to feel really, really comfortable down this stretch. And by the way, like you got a consistent football coach. You don't have one of these up and down guys anymore. Like you got a steady grinder. You got a guy that has the program on an uptick and a constant growth chart. And that's what it's supposed to be. So I feel good about you being a playoff team. Yeah.
Brooks, great stuff, man. We'll watch you tonight, this afternoon on Fine Ball.
No doubt. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Later, bro.